No, in Carnatic music. I am only talking about Carnatic music. I don't know about any other music. I won't risk committing to anything else. But in Carnatic music, they have been used a lot, and there is a certain logic in the way they have been framed, and they've been used. One word I forgot to introduce here is this idea of changing this laya is called Nadai. Now here there is a small controversy that brews. There is also a Sanskrit word called gati. Now, is Nadai and gati the same? Has been argued for about 100 years now. My opinion on this is it's exactly the same. This is Tamil, this is Samskrita. But there are, I'll tell you some people how they interpret gati, I'll tell you. So suppose, I will take this example, same thing. Suppose you had just this here. So what they are saying is, this is Nadai. Okay? So A, B, C, D is Nadai. That is, this is a Nadai of 4, Chatushra. They say that gati is suppose having this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Can someone say just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But matching me, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can actually say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You realize that I'm still doing 1, 2, 3, 4? So basically you're going to say A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D, E. Right? You're placing a 5 framework on the Nadai of 4 framework. This, they say, is gati. And this, they say, is Nadai. I don't agree at all. I don't agree at all. Because then what is the Samskrita word for Nadai will be my question. Or what will be the Tamil word for gati will be my question. In my opinion, Nadai and gati are actually the same. This is Tamil, that is Sanskrit. But some people have this interpretation. I'm just placing that interpretation so that you know that there is also a different interpretation to these terms.
Okay, now Nadai and gati could be one of the same as you interpret, but then that should have a different meaning.
You don't need to have it. You don't need to. Because the fact that you're overlaying anything on a basic matrix is a function of music. Right? And this is not a constant. You could place 5, 3, 7, 9, 3, 6. You understand? And that depends on what? On the music. So it is not first of all, it is not a mathematical measure that you're placing. You can make it a mathematical measure if you're playing in mridangam or something, you can make it. But in essence, it is a flow. It's either through melody, through what you're saying now, or through the mridangam, or through anybody else. Okay? Those are what he first used the term of saying patterns. These are patterns. That's what they are. Right? And there is no necessity for an order in those patterns. It'll actually finally come back, right? At some point of time, it will come back. It doesn't matter, is what I'm saying. See, you don't need to see. I only placed 5 now for you to observe. In a melodic flow, there is no saying that the next will still be a 5. Right? You don't have to make up. I'll tell you what happens finally. When I come to the structure of Tala, I'll come in. Now I have to come to. I will address your point when we talk about cyclical form of Tala. Now, yeah. You're talking about this, right? I am saying that this interval, there are 2 intervals here. There are 2 intervals. One is the interval between the 2 kriyas. One is the interval between what is being, between every said syllable in the kriya. Here I've used A, B, C, D. Let's keep it as A, B, C, D, okay? I've said A, B, C, D. Or I say A, B, C. The interval between A and B and C is more than the interval between A, B, B, C, C, D. Agreed? So there is a variability in this interval within the context of this interval. This is also laya, this is also laya. This is framed laya, I would like to call it framed laya, and this is melodic laya, rhythmic laya, whatever you want to say. This is the Nadai. This is the Nadai. And like always, nothing is separate. Everything is dependent on the other. This is Nadai. This is what we call Nadai. This is what you could call gati also, in my opinion. In my opinion, there's no big, I don't see a big difference. Absolutely not. Yeah. See, when you do, if you do this, this is not changing at all. Right? This is still the same. What is being said or is what is being changed. And now how it will come back to a Tala, in that sense her point of saying it won't just go and end up somewhere, I'll come to when I talk about the Tala itself. Any questions? Yeah, the interval is changing. Definitely, yeah, definitely.
Does this happen more in Swara singing?
No. And that all that will come to later. Let's not even go anywhere there. Yes, 1 second. Sorry? Oh, Ekatala, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, if you had a count of 4 running, then the total value, oh, I missed one, okay. The total value of Ekatala will be 16. Okay? It could also be 12. It could also be 20. Yeah, that's already gone. So basically, an Ekatala has 4 bars, but what is being? But here there is one more aspect also. Laya. Yeah. Nadai is also laya. First, Nadai is also laya. First, you have done the Nadai is also as much laya. That's what I'm saying. There are 2 layers in operation. One laya is a laya that is framed by the kriya itself. Okay? The second layer is only framed depending on what you are saying or singing. It does not exist until you place something into that, right? That is also layer. You have to distinguish. You only get this layer if there is music. Otherwise, you just have a pause. Now, how would you could say it's a pause of 5 seconds, 6 seconds. This will come into play the moment you start saying, say, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The moment you start saying something or placing something in the interval, this layer will come. Till you actually bring music into the context of Tala, this layer is of no consequence. So this layer is an overlay of music. This layer is structured. I refuse to, I don't agree that it becomes, the same question was asked by him, sub and the main. There is no sub and the main because, no, because the moment you bring in some melody, that is, like I said, the primacy of Tala is music. The moment, you have Tala only for music. So the moment you bring music into it, this is what you will hear. You will not hear this at all. You will only hear this. No. You are saying takata kita. That is where you are lost completely. You are not singing. 1 second. No. When you sing, what you hear is only the takata kita without you knowing. You will never hear this measure. When the moment you place music, the moment you sing, ye ta vu na ra, what you are hearing is only this. You are not hearing this measure at all. You are understanding this measure as a manifestation only because you are seeing ye ta, the placement of the syllabic and the melodic flow that is happening. That is how you understand this. Without this, you will not understand this at all. In music, this is the laya that is the laya. The moment you place music, this is the laya. This laya frames it. This layer of, you don't know whether it is 5 seconds or 6 seconds, but you know this is 5. The fact that it takes 6 seconds between every beat, nobody knows. You don't know it takes 6 seconds or 5 seconds, but you know whether 4 or a sense of 4, I won't even call it a 4, a sense of 4 because it's a melodic flow. A sense of 3 is being flowed. You will never remember, actually, today the laya was 6 seconds. Because this laya can be only measured by a time, right? This is laya actually today was 6 seconds for Adi Talam. You will never say that. You will never know that. But you will say for Adi Talam he did Tishnadai. Or you will say Chatushram. Or you will say Kandam. That is because the music that is playing dominates.
This Chatushram or Tisram has to be constant.
No, that's what I was going to say. Within a Tala, now I will address, it is possible, but it is also possible that you can have a Tala where you can decide that two parts of a Tala have different Nadais. But does... No, you can't. There again you have to be little honest to these three divisions. So if you have a Tala that has a Lagu, Anudrutam and Adrutam, sometimes there are cases where musicians sometimes say I am going to do Lagu with 4, Anudrutam with 3 and maybe Drutam with 5. You can do it. The base is 4. That I have said in the beginning itself. Yes. Everything is started with the premise of 4. That is why the numbers, in fact, the 7 is supposed to be something that was born from 4 and 3. That you asked me why I should place it like 4, 3, 7, 5, 9. One of the reasons, we actually don't have an answer for that question. We don't have a proper answer. One of the reasons that certain schools say is 7 is after all a combination of 4 and 3. Okay, now, what is 5? Don't ask me. I don't have an answer. Don't ask me, okay? It probably you can derive it back to 4 and 3. I'm sure you can. But that's why they place 4, 3, 7, 5, 9 and not 4, 3, 5, 7, 9. And the reason 4 is placed is Chatushra from the history of Indian music, not just Indian music, has taken primacy. All Tala forms that had 4 corners they used to talk about. Or Tala forms that had 3 corners they used to talk about. Okay, and even the 3-cornered Tala, they used to call it a 3-cornered Tala because the Tala concept was different. But the 3-cornered Talas used to be finally placed into a 4-corner structure. Because 4 was considered, and we have continued with that tradition of keeping 4 as being the base. Okay? There's one thing here. Have you got all this? Oh God, when I get confused. Why? What has rationality got to do with music? No, I want to know an answer because you use the word rational, but I want to know why it has to be rational.
No, I am asking you a question. That you say why 24 and 9. You don't have 6 because it's the same as 6. And having 9, you do 3 times.
That is where you're wrong. 9 is not a manifestation of 3. 9 is a manifestation of 4 and 5.
Okay,
No, listen. Yeah, exactly 4 and 5 are there, but 4 and 5 is 9 is not there. You said you can do 9 as manifestation of 3. 6 as being as 3, 3, 3 is different from 9 being 4 and 5. Similarly, then you don't need 7. No, there is. If you say then 7 is not required also. After all, it's 4 plus 3. If you look at that rationality, then none of this is required. That's why I said, what does rationality got to do with this? Because if 7 is only 4 plus 3, why do I need 7? Then we don't need 9. Why is 4 plus 5? But 9 is not viewed as 3 plus 3 plus 3. 9 is viewed as 4 plus 5. That's what I have understood. Therefore, it is not a triple of 3. Okay? Therefore, it is not a manifestation of 3. Point 2 is, if 9 need not be, in which case, you are welcome to hold it. But in which case, I would say by your logic, 7 is also not required. By your logic, 7 is also not required. Why is 7 required? Can you give me a logic for why 7 is required then? No, I want him to answer, please. Thank you. Exactly my point from the beginning. Exactly the point. No. Now that is different. Now we completely change the context of what you said. Now you not seeing Sankirna Jatri has got nothing to do with its being there. The point is very simple. If you think a 9 is irrational, then 7 is also irrational. And my primacy point is, There is no question of rationality here. It's a question of musicality here. It is a question of music. It is not the question of rationality. In which case, I don't understand why 5 should be the base. I can start that question straight. Logically, it should be 3, 4, 5. So why should it be 4 first? You know, you can ask a lot of questions. But the fact is, all this is formed for music. All this is not formed because it makes logic in a certain mathematical way. Therefore, on the basis of music, now Sankirna, or 9 as Sankirna is called, has been used in different contexts. Not that it has not been used. If you ask any rhythmic person, they will tell you. Now by your logic, I agree, 11 can be used, 13 can be used. Why 13 cannot be used? In fact, people in Tamil do use 13, by the way. They use 11. They use 11, they use 13. What happens after a certain point is the more, especially in that concept, if you start putting too much between 2 beats, it becomes unmusical. Yes, no, it's not mathematics, it's music. I don't even want to use the word aesthetics, I want to be careful. So say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, they're the same, but they're not the same. Doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 is exactly like he said, doing 3. Doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a different manifestation. All I'm saying is that there is a difference between 9 and perceiving it as a manifestation of 3. Now, I am not giving logic for it. And honestly, I'm not interested in giving logic for it. I'm not at all interested in it. You missed last Saturday. You've not even gotten to this then. You're not, I mean, there could be, somebody else could think that 4 and 5 does not sound as good as 3 and 3 and 3. So I cannot argue that. You're most welcome to think it sounds nice or not. But anyway, now can I move? Is there something I missed? Sorry, no, either 4. If you told a Tala, no, this time is only perceived, feeling. There is no quantifying of that. Are you saying, do you quantify the time? This, you are talking about. Okay. Yeah. The interval, no. Good question. See, if I chose 4, in this 4, I can have 1 with a 3 interval, one ekatala, I can do ekatala with 3 interval, or I can do ekatala with 4 interval, or I can do ekatala with 5 interval. Understand or not? No, I am first taking only the 4 count. Within 4 counts, I have 5 options. Within 5 counts, I have 5 options. Okay. Okay. Why don't you just do it in your hand and you'll see it? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And why is it longer? Also because of this. It's also because you have added one more count. It's also dependent on what you're putting in between. That is also a length, but that length is internal length. This is total length. If you're asking me the total block time, the total length is only dependent on the count. Yeah, you're right. The total length is only dependent on the count. The internal durations are dependent on this. Yeah, right. Sorry, I got it. Yeah. Okay. Now, just quickly. Yeah. That all that will come to. So I didn't even get there. Yeah. I was going to come to that. His question is the same question. I'm going to come to that. Before that, I just want to do one thing. See, I just want to get to this whole cyclical nature of Tala. It's practice. Most of this came out of practice. Most of these things came out of practice. Now, this part I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this whole variability of Lagu, whether which came, but the Tala itself was only based, if you see Tala writings, was only based on the music. Right through history, they don't talk about Tala as being something separate. And their reference to what Tala should be was based on what melody was doing. And when I say music, I meant only the melodic part, let me clarify. So it was never treated as something that is separate and that is being added to music. Never. It's never been treated that way. That's what I said. It comes out of practice. Oh, you can't, right? You can't, right? That's what I said, you can't, because you're putting a frame. Your music is being placed on this frame. You have to understand the frame. And you understand the internal workings of the frame. Now, this whole idea of... Okay. I'm not aware. I'll be safe on that. I'm not aware. Maybe there is. No, you need to. You need to be able to, you need to frame what is being sung within a certain structure, especially when you come to composition. You can't do it without that. Now, if you come to cyclical